If your vehicle has a two-part safety belt system, you should A. Use only the lap belt. B. Use both the lap and shoulder belts. C. Use only the shoulder belt. B. Use both the lap and shoulder belts. If your vehicle has a two-part seat belt system, be sure to wear both the lap belt and the shoulder belt. Wearing either part alone greatly reduces your protection. If you have an automatic shoulder belt, be sure to buckle your lap belt as well. This bicyclist is signaling A. A left turn. B. An upcoming stop. C. A right turn. A. A left turn. Bicycles do not have turn signals, so bicyclists use hand and arm signals to alert other drivers to their intentions. If a bicyclist puts their left arm straight out, they are signaling that they intend to turn left. You want to park uphill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which direction do you turn your front wheels? A. Straight ahead. B. Right, toward the side of the road. C. Left, toward the center of the road. B. Right, toward the side of the road. When parking either uphill or downhill on a road that has no curb, you should turn your wheels so that the vehicle will roll away from the center of the road if the brakes fail. Signs with orange backgrounds are A. General warning signs. B. Construction and maintenance warning signs. C. Regulatory signs. B. Construction and maintenance warning signs. The color orange is used only for construction and maintenance warning signs.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Before switching on the ignition, you should A. Buckle your safety belt. B. Be sure all passengers have buckled their safety belts. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Develop a routine for entering and leaving your car. Before switching on the ignition, buckle your safety belt and see that all passengers do likewise. In a vehicle equipped with airbags, the safest place for children age 12 and under to ride is in A. The front seat. B. The back seat. C. The bed of a pickup truck. B. The back seat. While airbags provide supplemental protection for adults in the event of a crash, they pose a severe safety risk for children. Anyone age 12 or under should sit in the back seat of a vehicle with airbags. When passing, you should move back into the right lane when A. You are one vehicle length ahead of the passed vehicle. B. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. C. You are 50 feet ahead of the passed vehicle. B. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. Do not pass unless you have enough space to return to the driving lane. Before you return to the driving lane, be sure you have enough room between yourself and the vehicle you have passed. When you can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror, it is safe to return to the driving lane. At intersections, crosswalks, and railroad crossings, you should always A. Stop, listen, and proceed cautiously. B. Look to the sides of your vehicle to see what is coming. C. Slowly pass vehicles that seem to be stopped for no reason. B. Look to the sides of your vehicle to see what is coming. Anytime you come to a place where people may cross or enter your path, or where one line of traffic meets another, you should look to the left and right sides of your vehicle to make sure no one is coming. If a vehicle is equipped with airbags, A. Seat belts should still be worn. B. Seat belts do not need to be worn. C. Seat belts should be worn behind the back. A. Seat belts should still be worn. Airbags are important safety devices that provide protection in crashes. For best protection, a vehicle's lap and shoulder belts should be used in combination with airbags. You are driving behind a motorcycle and want to pass. You must A. Stay in the right lane as much as possible because the motorcycle is small and doesn't use all of the lane. B. Blow your horn to make the motorcycle move onto the shoulder so that you can pass. C. Have your vehicle entirely in the left lane before and during the pass. C. Have your vehicle entirely in the left lane before and during the pass. When passing a motorcycle, allow a full lane to the motorcycle. Never crowd into the same lane as the motorcycle. Returning to the original lane too soon can force a rider to swerve to the right and into traffic or off the road. When driving in fog, it is best to drive with A. High beam headlights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Four-way flashers. B. Low beam headlights. Use your low beam headlights when driving in fog, rain, or snow. High beam lights can reflect off the weather conditions, lowering visibility even more. To see objects in their blind spot when changing lanes, drivers should check A. Only the left outside mirror. B. Over their left or right shoulder. C. Only the inside rearview mirror. B. Over their left or right shoulder. Your vehicle's blind spots are the areas that you cannot see in your mirrors. Look over the appropriate shoulder to check your blind spot when changing lanes. When driving on a slippery surface, such as snow or ice. A. Shift to a low gear before going down steep hills. B. Maintain traction by following other vehicles closely. C. Pump your brakes to keep them from freezing. A. Shift to a low gear before going down steep hills. To prevent skidding on slippery surfaces, you should shift to a low gear before going down a steep hill. You should also follow farther behind the vehicle in front of you than you normally would. Quick stops should be avoided. Unless you have anti-lock brakes, pump the brakes to slow or stop. There are oncoming vehicles to your left and a row of parked vehicles to your right. You should steer A. Closer to the oncoming vehicles than the parked vehicles. B. Closer to the parked vehicles than the oncoming vehicles. C. A middle course between the oncoming and parked vehicles. C. A middle course between the oncoming and parked vehicles. If there are oncoming vehicles to your left and a row of parked vehicles to your right, the best thing to do is to split the difference. Steer a middle course between the oncoming cars and the parked cars. Extra space in front of a large truck is needed for A. Other drivers to merge onto the freeway. B. The truck driver to stop the vehicle. C. Other drivers when they want to slow down. B. the truck driver to stop the vehicle. Because they are larger, trucks take longer to stop than cars traveling at the same speed. Other drivers should not pull in front of a truck and then slow down or stop. When you see this sign, you should stop in. A. Check for vehicles only in the direction that you plan on going, then proceed. B. Let all vehicles that arrive before or after you go first. C. Check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. C. Check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. At a stop sign, you must come to a full stop and check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. This sign means A. Stop. B. Merge. C. Upcoming change in direction. A. Stop. An 8-sided red sign means stop. When a bicyclist is making a left turn, A. They may use the left lane. B. They may cut through all lanes. C. They may wait on the side of the road. A. They may use the left lane. You should expect to see bicyclists driving with traffic on the road. You should not be surprised to see a bicyclist using the left lane when turning. In inclement weather, you should A. Steer off the road. B. Drive in a low gear. C. Steer and brake smoothly. C. Steer and brake smoothly. When driving during unfavorable weather conditions, avoid slamming on the brakes and making sharp, quick turns. These behaviors will make controlling your vehicle in inclement weather even more difficult. A flashing red traffic light at an intersection means A. The same thing as a yield sign. B. The light is about to turn green. C. The same thing as a stop sign. C. The same thing as a stop sign. A flashing red light at an intersection means drivers are required to come to a complete stop, yield to traffic and pedestrians, and proceed when the way is clear. The same is true at a stop sign. Which of the following factors affect an individual's absorption of alcohol? A. Weight. B. Height. C. Intelligence. A. Weight. Factors affecting a person's absorption of alcohol include the person's weight, their biological sex, the amount of food in their digestive tract, and the number of alcoholic beverages they have consumed. The only thing to do to remove alcohol from a person's system is to wait. Alcohol is A. A stimulant. B. An antihistamine. C. A depressant. C. A depressant. Alcohol is a depressant that dulls your judgment and makes your reflexes unreliable. If you want to pass a pedestrian who is walking along the roadway and an oncoming vehicle is approaching, you should A. Slow down and let the oncoming vehicle pass before you pass the pedestrian. B. Keep driving at a steady speed. The oncoming vehicle must stop for you. C. Honk your horn to get the pedestrian to move over. A. Slow down and let the oncoming vehicle pass before you pass the pedestrian. If possible, try to only deal with one roadway hazard at a time. If you want to pass a pedestrian but an oncoming vehicle is approaching, slow down and let the vehicle pass. You may then pass the pedestrian if it is safe to do so. If you have had several beers, the effects of alcohol will be reduced only by A. Taking a cold shower. B. Waiting several hours. C. Drinking several cups of coffee. B. Waiting several hours. The only way to remove the impairing effects of alcohol is to give the body time to remove it from the body. Drinking coffee, physical activity, or taking a cold shower will not speed up this process. It takes about 1 hour to cancel the effects of one drink. This sign means A. Trucks under 18,000 pounds are allowed. B. Hill ahead. C. Truck stop ahead. B. Hill ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign indicates that there is a steep hill ahead. Slow down and be ready to shift to a lower gear to control your speed and protect your brakes from damage. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. Legal prescription and over-the-counter drugs can impair your ability to drive, including drugs taken for colds, hay fever, allergies, or to calm nerves or muscles. It is illegal to drive while under the influence of any drug that impairs your ability to drive safely. This law does not differentiate between illegal, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs. This sign means A. No turns. B. No outlet. C. No U-turns. C. No U-turns. This sign indicates that U-turns are prohibited. You may see a sign like this at an intersection that commonly has oncoming traffic. This sign means A. Yield sign ahead. B. Side road entering from left. C. Stop sign ahead. A. Yield sign ahead. This sign indicates that there is a yield sign ahead. You should begin to slow down when you see this warning sign. As the percentage of alcohol (BAC) in your blood increases, you become A. More intoxicated. B. More sober. C. More coordinated. A. More intoxicated. Blood alcohol concentration (BAC) is a measure of the percentage of alcohol in a person's blood. The higher the BAC, the more impaired a person is. To improve visibility lowered by rain or fog, drivers should use their A. Low beam headlights. B. High beam headlights. C. Parking lights. A. Low beam headlights. Low beam headlights should be used when driving in rainy or foggy weather. Even if they do little to help you see, low beams will make it easier for others to see you. This yellow warning sign means A. You are approaching a school or school crosswalk. B. Slow down, drive with caution, and watch for children. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. This sign is placed on roads near schools to warn drivers to slow down, drive with caution, and watch for children. What is the purpose of rumble strips? A. They alert drivers to potential tire problems. B. They test a vehicle's shock absorbers. C. Through vibration and sound, they alert inattentive drivers to the fact that their vehicles have left the travel lane. C. Through vibration and sound, they alert inattentive drivers to the fact that their vehicles have left the travel lane. Rumble strips create noise and vibrations to warn drowsy or inattentive drivers that they are straying off of the road or are approaching a stop sign or signal. To know where traffic is behind you? A. Frequently check your rear-view mirror. B. Turn and look out your back window. C. Keep other vehicles out of your blind spots. A. Frequently check your rear-view mirror. Drivers should check their rear-view mirrors often to stay aware of the position of traffic behind them. In traffic moving at 50 to 55 miles per hour, you are least likely to have an accident if you A. Drive a few miles per hour faster than most other vehicles. B. Stay within that speed range. C. Drive a few miles per hour slower than most other vehicles. B. Stay within that speed range. You should adjust your speed to travel smoothly with the other traffic on a roadway, provided that the other traffic is driving within the posted speed limits. Remember that vehicles moving in the same direction at the same speed cannot hit each other. Crashes involving multiple vehicles often happen when some vehicles are traveling at different speeds than others. Motorcycles are entitled to A. The bicycle lane. B. Half the width of a lane. C. The same full lane width as other motor vehicles. C. The same full lane width as other motor vehicles. Lane usage for the motorcyclist is critical. Motorcycles are entitled to the same full lane width as all other vehicles. Which of these statements is true about drinking alcohol and driving? A. If you can walk in a straight line after drinking, it is safe to drive. B. If you are under the legal blood alcohol concentration limit, your driving isn't impaired. C. Alcohol affects judgment, which is needed to drive safely. C. Alcohol affects judgment, which is needed to drive safely. Being under the influence of alcohol affects your judgment. Good judgment is necessary to react appropriately to things that you see or hear while on the road. Even if you are below the legal blood alcohol limit, consuming any amount of alcohol is likely to affect your ability to drive safely. When a school bus is picking up or dropping off children, you must A. Stop, regardless of your direction of travel. B. Stop if you are driving in the same direction. C. Slow down and be prepared to stop. A. Stop, regardless of your direction of travel. When approaching a school bus that is picking up or dropping off passengers, you must come to a complete stop before reaching the bus, regardless of your direction of travel. This sign means A. Do not enter. B. Yield the right of way. C. Reserved parking for persons with disabilities. A. Do not enter. This sign is posted on one-way streets and other roadways where a driver is not allowed to enter. A driver may see this sign if attempting to enter an expressway ramp in the wrong direction. If you plan to pass another vehicle, you should A. Not assume the other driver will make space for you to return to your lane. B. Assume the other driver will let you pass if you use your turn signal. C. Assume the other driver will maintain a constant speed. A. Not assume the other driver will make space for you to return to your lane. Even when you signal, you should not assume that the space you want to occupy is free or that other drivers will give you the right of way. This sign shows one type of A. Right turn. B. Intersection. C. Lane change. B. Intersection. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that your current road ends at an intersection straight ahead. Slow down and prepare to yield or stop before turning right or left. Yellow lines separate A. Traffic lanes on one-way streets. B. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roads. C. All carpool lanes from regular traffic lanes. B. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roads. Yellow lines mark the center of a road used for two-way traffic. A solid yellow centerline indicates that drivers may not cross the line to pass. A broken yellow centerline indicates that drivers may cross the line to pass, but only if passing would not interfere with traffic. Night driving presents unique problems because A. The speed limit is increased at night. B. There are fewer cars on the roads at night. C. Distance and vehicle speed are difficult to judge in the dark. C. Distance and vehicle speed are difficult to judge in the dark. Night driving creates a unique set of problems for drivers. Due to the reduced visibility, it can be difficult to judge distance and the traveling speeds of other vehicles when driving at night. Drivers can see only as far as their headlights allow. If the roadway is wet or icy, you should A. Reduce your speed. B. Drive at the posted speed. C. Speed up. A. Reduce your speed. Because your tires will not grip the road under wet, snowy, or icy conditions as well as they will under dry conditions, you should slow down if the roadway is wet or icy. Which of the following is a dangerous habit when driving in work zones? A. Tailgating another vehicle. B. Failing to carefully watch for workers and moving equipment. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. When driving in a work zone, adjust your speed for the traffic conditions and don't follow other vehicles too closely. Be attentive to workers and machines in the work zone. When entering an interstate highway, you should A. Stop, check for cars, and enter when safe. B. Check for cars and reduce your speed to 25 miles per hour before entering the traffic lane. C. Check for cars, increase your speed to match the flow of traffic, and merge when the way is clear. C. Check for cars, increase your speed to match the flow of traffic, and merge when the way is clear. Rather than stopping as you would when entering other roads, you must use the merging or acceleration lane to speed up and smoothly merge with fast-moving traffic already on the interstate. You want to park downhill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which way do you turn your front wheels? A. Straight ahead. B. Right, toward the side of the road. C. Left, toward the center of the road. B. Right, toward the side of the road. When parking facing downhill on a road with or without a curb, or when facing uphill on a road without a curb, turn your front wheels toward the edge of the road so your vehicle will roll away from traffic if the brakes fail. However, when parking uphill on a road with a curb, turn your wheels toward the center of the road so the vehicle will roll into the curb if the brakes fail. Make room for cars that are entering the freeway by A. Slowing down. B. Merging into a different lane. C. Maintaining your speed and position. B. Merging into a different lane. Make room for vehicles that are entering a freeway. If possible, merge into the next lane to create a gap for the incoming vehicles. If you cannot merge, adjust your speed to allow for the vehicles to enter traffic as smoothly and safely as possible. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should consider each of the following, except for A. Applying your brakes. B. Letting go of the steering wheel. C. Pressing your head firmly against the head restraint. B. Letting go of the steering wheel. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Press yourself against the back of your seat and put your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. A curb painted red means A. Loading zone. B. The area is reserved for picking up or dropping off passengers. C. No parking, standing, or stopping. C. No parking, standing, or stopping. You may not stop, stand, or park at a red painted curb. To help avoid skidding on slippery surfaces, you should A. Shift to a lower gear after starting down a steep hill. B. Speed up to enter curves and slow down to exit them. C. Slow down before entering curves and intersections. C. Slow down before entering curves and intersections. Slow down before you enter a curve because you do not know what may be ahead. Braking on a curve may cause you to skid.